Hey guys, it is Mindy, your host of the Kansas City Bucket List podcast. I am really excited today. I've got one of my favorite couples here in Kansas City. I've got Billy and Allison Brimblecom. Who are they? They are behind the Steps of Faith Foundation, a nonprofit here who puts on an annual event, Thundergong, every November, headlined by Jason Sudeikis. You might have heard of it. But we're going to talk a lot about how they're doing incredible work raising funds for people who need prosthetic limbs. But we're also going to talk about a fun yacht rock cover band that they're in, Summer Breeze, and a lot of other things about their background in the music industry and what they're doing here in KC. So get excited for an inspirational episode and to learn about two incredible people here in the city. You're going to learn a lot and you're going to be really inspired by what they have to say. All right. Hey, guys. How are you?
Hello.
Hi.
Good.
I'm so happy to have you guys here today. We've got Allie and Billy Brimblecom, Kansas City natives, right? Both of you?
Close. I'm from a small town called Parsons,
Okay.
Kansas.
Yep.
So southeast Kansas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Born and-
Billy is a
born and bred.
native. Yeah.
I was going to say, we actually I think we started talking about Thundergong, different things happening before I realized that we have multiple mutual friends.
Yes.
Turns out. So
Yes.
shout out to the Burnt family and
That's right.
a few others, Angela and stuff. So
Yes.
so that was really fun. And then I finally got to meet you for the first time on a photo shoot a couple years ago.
That was just
after-
last year, which is
Was it just last year?
crazy.
Yeah.
Because we had Zoomed, we talked on the phone, and and so that was just last year, because it was for City Lifestyle last fall.
I know. That's crazy. Which
Yeah.
was a great shoot down at the Crossroads Hotel.
Yeah,
So
very
and then
fun.
you and I think we finally got to meet when we were doing, was it Mildred's maybe the first time? I don't
Yes.
even remember where it was.
I think so.
So, yeah.
I just remember seeing you, which I'm sure we'll talk about Thundergong, but seeing that you were at Thundergong and
Okay.
being like, Kansas City Bucket List was here, you know, and
Which I've gone
Feeling
almost
like-
every year. Yep.
which is
Yeah.
so great.
Yeah.
And feeling like, okay, we've made it. Our celebrity influencer is here.
D-list celebrity.
Well, and Tyson,
That's not true.
Tyson Burnt, who we already mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
had mentioned you years ago, in the form of like, hey, local, like he might have used the word influencer, big following. And I was like, that's not a thing locally. And then I was like, oh, wait, this is very much a thing. And then obviously now I come to you instead of local news because it makes a bigger splash.
Well, thank you for that, by the way.
Yeah, that's a fact. I've told you that many
Yeah.
times. So,
no,
yeah.
you have. Yeah. And honestly, so launching the podcast, and I've even thought about that where I'm like, okay, I will say I'm one of the few people that maybe watches morning news.
Yeah, we
Maybe-
do. We,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
You do
morning-
too. Okay.
yeah,
Sometimes I feel like I'm like one of the only ones, but clearly they're still on.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I'm like, but I do feel like this is the place where I can bring more information. I'm not talking about like breaking news and
Sure.
Kansas City crime and stuff like that. We
Right.
could get into that, I guess, like maybe some crime documentaries. But
Yeah.
I'm like, I want people to come here and like hear the stories and the events that are going on, which is a big thing that we'll talk about with you guys,
Yeah.
of course, too.
Love it.
Cool.
Which I should probably real quickly introduce you and what you guys do specifically. Clearly, you are married, or maybe
We
not
are.
so clearly, but
We
you
are.
guys are married.
We are.
Yep.
It's legal.
Yep.
Yes.
Legal in all 50 states.
I,
Great.
I believe so. 17 years,
Nice.
2007.
Couple kids later.
A couple years
That's
later.
right.
Yeah.
A few different states. Yeah.
Few different, yeah, which we can talk about that too.
Yeah.
Okay, but so you are CEO at Steps of Faith Foundation,
Correct.
which I do have. I think this is last year's shirt
Very
for
good.
Thundergong.
Yes.
Steps of Faith.
Yes.
You are the co-creator of Thundergong,
Yes.
which this year was what year of
It
doing
was
that
the
event?
9th year we've done Thundergong.
Okay, which clearly we will dive into the details of that.
Yep.
One of the city's best events by far. You are the captain of the ship. You want to talk about that? Of
Summer Breeze.
an amazing local cover band, Summer Breeze,
I
Yacht
should have
Rock.
brought you the hat.
I know I asked for it. It's okay. You can give it to me later.
We will get you
Ridiculous.
one.
Just so everybody
I'm gonna
knows.
drive home and bring it back.
We've been
Yes.
talking for years. You have a black, what is it called? It's like a nautical
Yeah,
captain's
it's like
hat. It's got the
it's
little
like
gold.
Yeah, it's got like got the
leaves.
gold leaf on the bill, which is like a old military thing, and
Yeah.
apparently that's called the scrambled eggs because it looks like scrambled. Maybe that's
Well, that's
military
great.
slang.
I mean, I'll take it. I like.
So it's
scrambled
not
eggs.
stolen valor that have a Summer Breeze hat.
Yeah.
They make those hats that say a lot of things now.
So captain of the ship, which means you do what?
I mean, Allie and I put the band. It was our idea, Summer Breeze. So yeah,
But you play the drums.
I'm the drummer in the band, and the band leader and ringleader and, often MC. It's that every drummer wants to be a frontman singer. And I can't sing that well, so I just do it from sitting at the back of the band.
Yeah, there you go. And you are what? Are we lead singer? Are we?
Yes, there are several singers in the band. I'm the lone female in the band, and so I'm sometimes singing lead,
representing.
Sometimes on like the background harmonies, tambourine vibes on the side. Yes,
cowbell, woodblock, shaker.
That's right.
Need more cowbell.
Do it all.
Yeah. So first of all, do you guys have events going on for Summer Breeze throughout the year? Or is it really more of kind of like a seasonal summer thing? Where can we find you, really any given time? Obviously, your website would show us that. But
summerbreezekc.com. So, yes, we don't play a ton. We've played quite a bit this year, but...
not just in the summer.
Yeah, we play all throughout the year. Like,
Winter
like
Breeze.
last year when I was going to bring you that hat was on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I did bring you that hat, but you did not bring yourself because you couldn't make it to the show.
We won't talk about that.
We won't talk about that.
Yeah.
And then, so like we're going to play, I don't know when this comes out. We're going to play February 7th.
It'll be after the first of the year. So,
February 7th at Liberty Hall in Lawrence. It'll be only the second time we've ever played Lawrence ever.
Oh, fun.
So we kind of play throughout the year, but in the early days, like we were just going to do this one time for fun. That's the whole thing.
Oh,
with
that's
Summer
the
Breeze.
backstory?
Yeah, we were going to do it one time for fun before we moved to Nashville. We're like, that would be so hard to play that music live, to put together a show like that. But maybe we try. We ended up doing 2 times before we moved to Nashville in 2009, squeezed in a second show. And then that was it. And then it was like, well, we're going to be home for Thanksgiving. Maybe we do that again. And so.
And was it like 7 people at the time? Or was it just the 2 of you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's 7. Big band. It's always been 7 or more. These days we often play with a horn section. Will make us 9. But.
And we play Yacht Rock, if we didn't mention that. Maybe most people these days know what that is, but maybe explain.
Yeah.
What
It
Yacht
started.
Rock is.
Water bottle down.
It started as that's the bread and butter. The main thing we do is a Yacht Rock tribute, but we do all these other things now as well. But yeah, there were years where most of the probably first 10 years, more often than not, it was like 2 shows a year, maybe 4 shows. We played a couple wedding receptions in that time, and those people have remained very close friends. So yeah, it was kind of like the shows were very sparse out of necessity because 3 of us lived in Nashville, Tennessee.
Got it.
So we just couldn't play that often. So that is kind of what I think built the audience in a way, because it felt like this, not just another cover band that you can go see, once a month or whatever, which nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But we could only play, a couple times a year. So it was just like everybody would show up. So we're very thankful that it's a big audience.
I know you guys have kids, right? How old are the kids?
They are 10 and
Elementary,
12.
Middle school. Okay. I was like, what do we want to do with Summer Breeze? Do we want to start touring? Are we going to start touring Europe? What are we doing here? What's the dream?
There are some really big touring yacht rock bands that make that like their full-time income. I don't see us on that path, but we have, like, it would be amazing to play with, like, if Michael McDonald came to town and he could
we're
join
gonna
us.
manifest that.
Yeah, so I think that's more the dream than us like going on tour, but it could happen.
I'm currently retired from being a touring musician, but we have had offers.
Yeah.
The Summer Breeze has had offers, which is great. So yeah, we would like to do a little more. I don't know if a tour is in the cards, at least in the foreseeable future, due to the way our lives work. But we're very, very thankful that it's still going and that people are still showing up and that we're able to do it. But yeah, no, it's more like, let's play with like the real yacht rockers. Like I see if like Toto and Christopher Cross are coming to town, and was like, how do we play with them? Things like that.
Do you have any connections? Do you have any way of making this happen? Do you go to their shows and try to like?
We
yell and scream and get their attention.
We know people and know how to reach people. I am in touch with Michael McDonald, not directly, but I'm in touch with his manager. Like he did a virtual Thundergong thing.
Oh,
for
he
us.
did?
Yes.
Okay.
Which was incredible. So,
Got it.
Very nice guy. And so, yeah, we'll see.
Maybe someday.
Yeah.
Well, so speaking of Summer Breeze, you guys obviously play at Thundergong every year. Ninth year this
Yeah,
year.
with house band for that.
Yep, amazing. Did you have a record-breaking year, the event this year?
Yes.
Talk about that.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's
Thank
huge.
you. Yeah. Yeah, over $1 million raised at the event this year.
Yeah. And let's talk about
yeah.
Steps of Faith, what it's raising money for.
Yeah. Thundergong is the biggest fundraiser of the year for Steps of Faith. Steps of Faith gets prosthetic limbs for amputees that have no health insurance or no prosthetic coverage with their health insurance. So Medicaid in some states, for instance, does not cover prosthetic care for adults, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
Is there any movement with that? Do you know? Or just.
in the opposite direction.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, in the opposite. We'll see what the quote big beautiful bill does to that next year, but it looks like the list of states. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's maybe not something we want to get into. How ridiculous it is that Steps of Faith needs to exist, but we can. But yeah, no. Yes, that's what we do. And Thundergong is a very fun way to raise money for this very important thing. And yeah, we had never broken $1 million. I mean, Steps of Faith has done more than $1 million just in fundraising overall in a year. And Thundergong, since we started doing it in 2017, is the biggest, standalone fundraiser for Steps of Faith. But we'd never done $1 million from the event, and I really had hoped to someday.
Yeah.
That's
amazing.
We did it.
Yeah. Well, so ultimately you guys are working on this together year round. This is what you do. This is what your passion is. This is where your love is thrown into.
Yeah.
And what all do you do? Well, first of all, let's talk about your backstory as to where it came from, where the inspiration came from.
Yeah. Steps of Faith, Thundergong, all that. Well, yeah. So I lost my leg to cancer in 2005, my left leg right above the knee. But it all worked out. That was terrible. But I was a full-time musician at the time, drummer. And I met Allie about a month after all that. So she was not part of the terror of, oh my God, do I have cancer? Oh, I have cancer. Oh my God, am I going to lose my leg? Yes, I'm losing my leg. That was already
behind you.
Done. But I was still in chemo when we met.
Where did you guys meet, by the way?
We met at our church, actually.
Okay.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I didn't have to walk through the hardest part of all that like his friends and family did. But I was on the end of him receiving treatment and then learning how to walk with a new leg and all of that. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Our first date was, we met about a month after I lost my leg, August of 2005. So we met like in September.
Okay.
And our first date was the beginning of December. It was the first weekend of December, which was the weekend before my last round of chemo.
Okay.
So it was kind of like, she was the most perfect segue into being able to live my life again in a very new way, if you will.
It was
so,
great.
Yeah. So,
what kind of cancer did you have?
It was a sarcoma called Ewing's sarcoma. There's lots of different kinds of sarcoma. None of them are good. Shout out to the Sarcoma Foundation of America, which does a lot of amazing things. We attended their fundraiser in New York City a couple months ago, which was beautiful. So yes, fast forward then, that was 2005 to many years until we were living in Nashville, Tennessee. And that's when Steps of Faith came into the picture, which was 2013. So,
did you have like a moment of clarity, or had you guys been talking together about what you could do with this happening?
No. Well, backing up a little bit, 2006. So not even a year, several months after getting out of chemo and all that, I was full on into touring with my band Blackpool Lights. Could barely walk, but fortunately you sit down to play the drums. My bandmates helped me load all the gear in and everything. And I needed a new prosthetic leg that was the kind of permanent type, not the permanent one, because I've gone through several since then, but kind of the permanent type. I had this kind of temporary thing. Fortunately, there's a lot of different kinds of prosthetic limbs and feet and knees and arms and that kind of thing, because there's lots of different kinds of human limbs, feet, knees, arms. And so I needed this, certain type that was, the best for my body type, activity level, and all that. And at the time in 2006, my health insurance policy would only cover half of that. And it was a $60,000 prosthesis. Still is.
Yeah.
And insurance is only going to cover half of it. So some friends put together a fundraiser for me that included Jason and at Record Bar. And It was
stuff.
a comedy show and a concert. And so, and it was beautiful. And there were 2 shows. They both sold out. We needed 30 grand. We raised 40. I always joke that I got a new leg and Allie got an engagement ring. That was not a $10,000 engagement ring for those people that donated back then.
That's funny.
Just so you know.
Thanks for the clarification.
Yes,
Jason,
that's
you
not
wouldn't
where
guess
it
what
went.
to this day.
Anyway, there's a statute of limitations on people being worried about that. No, anyway, so when we were driving around the next day, Allie and I, my girlfriend at the time, I thought, wouldn't it be great if we did this next year for somebody else that needed it? Well, we didn't do that.
Okay.
But moved to Nashville, that whole thing. And then basically what happened, origin story of Steps of Faith, very long story short, is we had a brand new baby, our son, first baby. Allie was a teacher, no paid maternity in the state of Tennessee.
Oh, great.
So we had a plan, a maternity plan that basically included like time off, spring break, things like that, that went in the toilet real quick because he was born 6 weeks early.
Wow.
So I was very much at age 36, I might need to do something different as a career for the first time. I mean, I knew I wanted to play music professionally since I was a kid.
So you moved from here with the whole band to Nashville?
No, it was just Allie and I. But
Okay.
but what coincidentally the same summer, Greg LaFollette, who's in Summer Breeze with us, did move to Nashville as well.
Okay.
And so yes. So but we moved there just for more opportunities to make money playing music.
Okay.
And and that happened. But I was like, okay, I might need like another career. So I was kind of in that frame of mind, highly emotional time, brand new baby. He was fine, thank God, even though he was early. And so one day I was at an appointment at the prosthetic clinic and I was asked to talk to my prosthetist. That's the doctor, prosthetist. You can
That's
look
a hard
that
word
up.
to say.
It is a hard word to say. There are people who do it for a living that can't say it.
Yeah, I bet.
I have proof. So, but to their credit, it's hard. You wouldn't think there's
Can't
an
judge
S
people.
there and then a TH and then another S. It just comes so fast, those letters. Anyway, so my prosthetist said, hey, on your way out, I'm fitting a guy for a new leg who lost his leg to cancer. Will you come in and just talk to him for a minute? I think he could benefit from seeing somebody that's, a few years down the road and doing well and that kind of thing. I said, I would love to do that. I feel like that's part of why this happened to me. Let's do it. And so I talked to the guy for probably 5 minutes. Couldn't tell you a thing that we talked about, but I can remember how he was looking at me and how that made me feel. And it was like really emotional. Again, very heightened time. And I was like, I wish that could be my job. That's what I told Allie. I had another appointment the next day, told my prosthetist that. And he said, well, maybe it could be. He introduced me to the guy that owned the prosthetic clinic where I'd been going, who I had not met, but we had mutual friends, which is why I went there in the first place. The guy who sold us our home alarm system, that was his prosthetist.
Thank you.
Was Rob Pittman, the owner of.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Rob. But Ronnie was the alarm guy. But no, Rob was the. It's hard to keep track.
A lot of
All
cast,
these guys,
quite the cast.
big cast of characters. Introduced me to the guy that owned the company, and we had a few conversations. And again, very long story long. He had established a 501c3, so he had tax exempt status on a very good idea, which is the idea to do what we do. But it had been sitting dormant for a couple of years. So we had a conversation and I was like, about working together. I was like, I have no idea what I could do for this company, but I know how I felt when I was talking to that guy.
Yeah.
And I can't think of anything I'd rather do other than play drums,
Yeah.
And he said, okay, well, I've been trying to get this nonprofit off the ground for a couple of years, but I'm busy running this company. What if you come on and do it? And so tossed me the keys to a car with no engine in it, is what I like to say, and said, see what you can do with that. So that's how, the seeds were in my head and heart. The seeds were in my head and heart because I had been the recipient of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then kind of this blessed coincidence, meeting this guy who, had already had tax exempt status to do this thing. But I mean, it had been sitting dormant for a couple of years, just again, a tax exempt, very good idea.
Yeah.
And so, so we kind of figured out how the behind the scenes of it would work, Rob and I, pretty quickly. I wrote the mission statement, put a board together, and, started raising money. And so, that was, 2013.
Naming it Steps of Faith.
The name was in place, and that was it. Again, tax exempt status, the name, and then he and I figured out like how it actually works.
Yeah.
The behind the scenes kind of inside baseball stuff. And how we get these, how we work with prosthetists around the country, that kind of thing. And then, I figured it out.
I can imagine that'd be a major learning curve. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And, my first, for many years, unpaid intern was Allie. And, yeah, it's crazy.
Little pro bono work. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So then you relocated to Kansas City at what point and for what?
Yeah. So Steps of Faith started 2013. We had another baby, 2015. There was a lot. We never felt, I'll speak for myself. We love Nashville. We love what Nashville did to our lives. And both kids were born there. We love so many people that were like amazing friends from there. Oddly, a lot of them from Kansas City, whether we knew them ahead of time or not. But we never loved living there.
Okay.
We were sad to leave Kansas City. We loved it here, but we knew we were at least going to spend a season in Nashville. We weren't really sure if it would be a short time or we would put down roots and raise our kids there. And we just never really felt like, okay, we kind of were both on the same page. Like our season is done and we're ready to come back home.
Home completely.
Yeah.
So how
and
many
it
years
was funny.
did you say you were there?
We were there 7 years.
Okay. That's a
And
long
we
period of
really
time.
did gravitate towards people from Kansas City.
Yeah.
A lot of our best friends were originally from
Just
here.
purely coincidental?
Yes.
Or was there
For real.
like a bar where everybody
No.
gathered?
No,
in the park
it
or
was,
something?
we just, the Baldwin Casey hat was popular, so we were easy to spot,
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of Royals
we would spot,
activity at that time.
Yeah, we would spot the Royals gear and the Casey hat, but it was coincidence. But I think that, people here have a vibe, and we gravitated towards those great people. And so we were ready to come back. And even though there was a lot of good there and a lot of good friends, this is home.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were ready to come back.
Did any of those friends follow you guys here?
Yes.
Greg, one of our
fun.
best friends, who's also in Summer Breeze, we wore him down enough to come back.
Perfect.
It took him a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had our friends, Mike and Leslie Smith, they moved
That's
there
right,
a
yeah.
little after us and then moved back here before us.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But, we're
We
still
all had the same feeling of it's cool here. There's a lot going on here, but Kansas City is better. It's got
Yeah.
it going
How
on.
do you explain that? Okay, so first of all, one thing I was going to say, we moved here 10 years ago from Chicago.
Okay.
That's where my husband is from originally, but we ended up moving here for cost of living and a few other things. And we didn't know what we were moving into. I mean, I went to KU, graduated back in the day before there was Power and Light, before there was River Market, before there was any of that stuff, right? It was like you would go to the plaza or you
Right.
go to Tanner's in Overland Park or something. That's
Yeah.
what I remember, what you could
Yeah.
do. But anyway, we moved here, so we didn't really know what we were moving into, and then quickly started to learn this unspoken charm or something, love for the city that everybody has. But how do you guys view that? How do you describe that coming from Kansas City and wanting to come back, which is different than my own situation? So I'm curious what your perspective is on why Kansas Cityans love Kansas City so much, and what is that undercurrent, I guess, that makes it so unique?
Well, and I'll be interested in your take on this since you moved here for college, but you didn't grow up here.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, I was just so stoked to live in a place when I moved here for college that had things open past 8 p.m. So that's
Wait,
where
where'd you go to college?
I went to Mid-American Nazarene University.
yeah.
But I'm from a small town,
That's right.
had, everything closed down very early and not a lot going on. So I loved living here where there was just more going on. But then, I would say Kansas City has amazing food. We have a lot. There's just a beautiful art scene here of, dance and music and artists and museums and things like that. And of course, Nashville has their music, but I would venture to say I would say there's more of it here. And not maybe people recording music, but
Sure.
it's also just more accessible here. There's just a good vibe. There's, I would say also just as parents and raising a family, there's more accessibility when it comes to living in a neighborhood and going to a public school. And not having to look at private school or those kinds of things that most anyone that has means in Nashville is doing.
Yeah.
So I think we're really lucky here with that. There's just a lot of options. And not to say anything bad about Nashville. It's just, it's harder to live there in the city as just someone that is not, that's wanting to raise a family and maybe not a millionaire. You know?
No, that's fair.
And,
absolutely.
And my argument was, and this is saying something bad about Nashville, for what? It's not like, well, we live in LA because it's LA and it's beautiful, or we live in New York because there's no other city in the world like it. I just was always like, what cave in Kentucky did you crawl out of that you think this is like the best city there is? So that's being mean about Nashville.
But it's a fair point. It's landlocked as well. And,
well, and politicians run on this platform, so this isn't my opinion. I mean, it's a very poor city planning. It's like laid out terribly. Again,
traffic is really tough there.
It's just ridiculous. And I'm always just like, for what? I feel like in a weird way when I go there now, because, I'm there for work, usually once or twice a year, or we go to visit or whatever. It's almost kind of like caught up where I'm like, oh, there's this and this and this and this and this. That's pretty great. It was always great. I mean, I'm telling the truth of how I feel, but I'm also trying to be, but I'm also kind of being silly. I mean, it's awesome. There's a whole vibe to it, but one of the things that Allie had said when we moved back here or when we were considering it, is just, there's just so much more like beauty here, and it's true. It's just a prettier place, and people are different. And there's nothing wrong with being in a city. I mean, this is one of the things that can be great, where it is kind of this melting pot of people. That's a destination city. They're coming from all over the place. Like that can be a really good thing. But there's just kind of, something in the water, so to speak, of people from the Midwest. My friend Kay grew up, in Illinois, like outside Chicago. She lives in LA. She was here several years ago, and she's been here many times, but hadn't been here a long time. And she said, I know this, but I forgot because it's been a long time. Everyone here is just so nice. Yeah. But in the South, there's this thing that it's like fake nice. It's like, it's nice, but it's like, just weird.
You just feel the difference.
Well, a friend of mine was like, it's a whole thing that in the South, like in Nashville and in the South, people will be like, we should get together sometime. And they don't mean it. It's like, hey, how are you? You don't actually mean, please tell me exactly what's going on. It's just like a thing you say.
Yeah.
I think that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I listened to a podcast that Heidi Gardner was on talking about someone that she knows. I don't know if they're from New York or LA, whatever, but they came for Big Slick. And this, I think it was a female, had told her like, apparently, quote unquote, Kansas City felt like a warm hug.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
It's just a good,
to hear outsiders say that is so interesting. Yeah.
It's just, it's a special place that we have here. And, what Allie was talking about, art everywhere and that kind of thing. It's always been that way. I always tell people the song was written about this city for a reason, going to Kansas City. A lot of people roll their eyes at it because we grew up hearing it all the time, but it's like...
But when you really sit down and think about it...
Yeah. I mean, the music history of this city is as deep and rich as any city in the country. And we're those... I'm going to get it wrong. It's like we're recognized as one of the United Nations music cities of the world.
Oh, really?
This is true. The world.
Since when?
We've had it for a few
of
years.
Summer Breeze?
We're a big part of it. No, sweet Jim Cosgrove, who texted me today, aka Mr. Stinky Feet, very celebrated children's musician, told me this, and we had a whole conversation about it. Like a lot of people don't know that. It's like UNESCO. It's like what is that? It's United Nations. Anyway, look this up. It's a real thing.
No, that's a big deal.
And I feel like there's a real...
going to go down a little rabbit trail.
There's a real obvious city, I'm going to get this wrong, that isn't on that list, like New Orleans. It's not literally New Orleans, but or maybe Austin or something. So anyway, that's a big part of the city. It's a big part of the DNA.
But how do you kind of expand on that for people who don't know the depth of the music scene here? Like, how do you think we got that? What warrants Kansas City being on that list?
So I don't know what. Oh gosh, I feel like I'm caught with my pants down here. Did Charlie Parker grow up here? I can't remember.
I think so, right?
Maybe that was it. Well, but like Charlie Parker is arguably one of the most important musicians of all time, of any musical genre. I don't think many would disagree with that, even if maybe just because since he's old, a lot of people don't know who he is. But I mean, he's as important as
but if you're in
Beethoven
Kansas City,
or
we
whatever.
definitely need to know who he is.
Yeah, absolutely. So when jazz music ruled the country, this was the spot.
Yeah.
You know, at least one of the spots for it back in the day. And so there's been many, many efforts to, which, you know, is kind of up and down. Seems like it's on an uptick of preserving the 18th and Vine district, which was kind of like, you know, ground zero hub for all of that back in the day. But yeah, I mean, it goes back, you know, to my knowledge, at least to that.
Yeah.
You know, where there was
That
all
makes
these
sense.
incredible musicians that were either from here or were moving to here, moving to here. That's correct grammar.
Yeah. No one's
Put that
trading.
pull quote when we're promoting this. Yeah, so I think it started, to my knowledge, it started there when it comes to big air quotes, modern music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Music that you could buy records
Yeah.
for. But yeah, and it's just kind of always been that way. I mean, there was, you know, in my era of when I was coming up, you know, Lawrence was the next quote unquote Seattle for about 15 minutes.
Was it really?
This is according to Kurt Loder on MTV News.
What?
Yeah, no, I mean,
Love that.
after grunge broke in 1991, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, et cetera, et cetera.
Some of the best music ever.
Of course.
90s is my favorite.
Of course. I started high school in the fall of 1991. I was the demographic for that. And what then happened was it major record labels, you know, scoured the country for no gimmick, just heavy or what, not even heavy, just rock bands, you know. This was a great thing. You know, because it basically killed hair metal, you know, and that kind of thing. And, you know, hair metal is wonderful. But my point is, Lawrence was the next Seattle for about 15 minutes, and then that spilled over into Kansas City. So I came up with all of these bands and was in one of them for a minute. It's a band called Stick, S-T-I-C-K, not to be confused with Styx. My aunt thought I was in Styx, which would have been great.
It's a fun Thanksgiving to talk
But
about.
it was on Thanksgiving or Christmas. Anyway, no, wrong band.
Can we find your music online? Can we go back and listen to
the first
Stick,
Stick
by the way?
album that I did not play on because but I saw them in this time. I joined the band at the very end. So there's a couple Stick records. I didn't play on either of them, but there's a Stick album called Heavy Bag, which is awesome.
Story there.
It's well, I mean, it's just a picture of literally a boxing bag.
I was like, is there like a garbage bag?
Oh.
No, it's like a, you know, heavy bag, like a, yeah. And so that, but I mean, it was on a major label, you know, it's on Arista Records, it's on Spotify and streaming services. So yeah, my point is the music history is long and deep and rich.
Yeah.
And there were tons of bands that are, you know, were my friends then and now. And even one of them that I was in that had these, you know, that had a go at it, man.
Yeah.
That, you know, it toured the world and had videos on MTV and the whole deal. You know,
And
it
then
was
what
great.
happened? Why didn't Lawrence stick?
Pun intended. Yeah, no, I mean, none of it did. I mean, that's the thing. It's like it comes and goes. And it's
Yeah.
like no one from where I'm sitting failed.
Sure.
You know, it's like businesses, restaurants, bands, you know,
Yeah.
unfortunately marriages, they don't always all last, you know. And so, yeah. But I mean, you know, some of those bands are still around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Season to Risk was one of the bands that was from Kansas City that I think just finished a tour. You know, that was one of the few bands from Kansas City in the early 90s that was signed to a major label. And like, they're still at it.
Yeah.
Like, which is amazing. I was emailing with Steve Tulipana, the singer of that band, who owns a record bar, about some shows next year. And I was like, about some old bands of mine, I'll just say that.
Okay.
And I said, looks like my past is my future. And he was like, dude, I'm on tour with Season to Risk right now. He's like, my past is my future and my presence and my forever. And I was
gosh.
like, amen.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a moment to highlight some local bands. Lawrence, KC. Who
Yeah.
do you guys like to listen to? Who's great to see live?
We're not out seeing a lot of bands these days.
That's fair.
But there's
So some friends of ours are Hembry who are not
Yeah.
local anymore, but we love those guys. They're
Yeah.
in LA
So
now.
good. Yep.
Their dad, well, not their, but Isaac Flynn, who's the front man of that band. His dad, John Flynn, is our lead guitar
Yeah, that's
player,
right.
Summer
Okay.
Breeze. So they're kind of like our little brothers that we're always
Yep.
keeping tabs on and rooting for.
We saw them perform at Percheron.
yeah,
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
Yeah,
Summer before.
they've been doing it the last few years.
I think you were there too, right?
Yeah,
Some of these.
I've been in a couple of them.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, Hembry's great. Madison Ward's incredible.
Love him.
We play with him from time to time. Allie just played with our old friend Sarah Swenson a couple weeks ago at Record Bar, which was very, very great. She's a great singer-songwriter from here that's been around, been at it a long time. Yeah, I mean, Season to Risk, Shiner. I mean, those are big, awesome, heavy rock and roll bands that I learned about as a teenager. Yeah. But like, I'm just so happy.
And our friends, the Get Up Kids, are
still that's right
at it, and their band is like a big important band to a lot of really famous bands, and so
like inspiration to them.
Yeah, huge influence.
Yes, like. People that everyone knows and listens to would be starstruck to, run into them.
Yep.
Because they were at the forefront of a lot of really important music at the time.
Yeah.
And still making a living, like touring and, I mean, like other countries. It's like amazing.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say we have the pulse on all the new stuff. Like we're
join the club.
I'm sure there's so much
Same
more.
Stage of life.
Oh, there are people that if you're listening, I'm sorry if I haven't got back to you, but will hit me up on LinkedIn. Yes, LinkedIn, but like Instagram and stuff, or if you emailed me like musicians and wanting to play Thundergong or whatever, for instance, and I'm like, I have never heard of this person, and this is great. Like, I'm 48 years old. I mean, I started playing clubs when I was 16, so I've been at it a long time. But like I said, I'm not kind of like out in this.
Yeah.
Summer Breeze plays. We have friends that still play. We play with all these people, some of these people as well. But there's a whole, couple generations. Some of these people, thank God we are friends with Hembry because we know about some of these people because of them, and it's just like, this is amazing.
Right.
Our buddy Chuck that's in our band, Summer Breeze, has a band called 90 Minute Cassette. We got to mention them. Greg LaFollette makes his own music. All of this is on Spotify. There's a lot. There's tons. There's tons. It's an endless supply of even things we could mention, and that's a fraction of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of music events in Kansas City, I think I had texted you last month at some point, the day after Thundergong, and I was like, congratulations on making it onto the National Women's Soccer League Instagram, hanging out with Weird Al Yankovic, amongst your husband and Jason and everybody else. I was like, this is amazing. There was let's talk about Thundergong, especially the one that just happened, Pink Pony Club, some of these performances. Like, talk about Thundergong and why. I mean, be completely selfish about like what makes this event so great, because it is a party. It is so entertaining. It's not just music; it's funny, and obviously
it's very fun, very funny. It's a little bit rough around the edges, I would say, where I think that's fun for people. Like you can tell, kind of like
unpolished.
I mean,
raw,
like the magic
live.
of SNL is, kind of baked into the Thundergong sauce as well. Of like. There's some planning, but there's some things that happen live in the room that weren't expected. And I would say, I think part of the magic of it for people that are from Kansas City is that Summer Breeze is the house band. And, we're getting to play for these other musicians and comedians. And I think that makes it really fun that we're just kind of these normal people that are on stage getting to have that opportunity. I think that's fun for people that know us a little bit even. It's really fun for us. And we, I don't think that would be the same if it was different. But we've just had incredible people, and once people come once, they feel like part of the family. It kind of feels like summer camp a little bit, is like the way someone explained it this year, and we were like, that's so perfect because it kind of feels like everyone's coming together to like for the weekend to put on the summer camp show. And Weird Al was there last year and this year, and we're all just like,
Is he just like a hoot to hang out with? What is he like?
He's the sweetest and kindest and very humble and unassuming. And I mean, it's just surreal to like.
He was literally one of my first cassette tapes
that
I had for my stereo in my room in the 80s.
A lot of people feel that way. I was actually sitting with him at dinner, and I was mentioning Jimmy Fallon, talking about him on when Taylor Swift was on the show recently. And I said, I feel like Jimmy Fallon just finds any opportunity to bring your name up on the show because he mentions him a lot. And Weird Al said, oh, yeah, he's obsessed with me.
Oh, that's great.
And I loved that because it was he was Jimmy's first concert. And so I feel
really?
he was that for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And he's just a legend. And
Yeah.
But I mean, he's just hanging out. Something cool about him is he came down front and sat and watched the show this year. So
really?
When he was not on stage, he wanted to see what was going on. He's watching
in the audience.
He's just truly engaged.
Yeah.
With
He
everything
really is.
about
He's
this
an
event.
incredible musician.
Yeah.
He is such a pro. When we were rehearsing, and he almost kind of seems a little bit shy, and then you start playing the music, and that magic happens. He's got all the moves, and
he turns it on.
I mean.
He probably has a
he's
stage
just-
name of some sort. Sasha Fierce, but a play
He
on
has
that.
some sort of
Weird.
Sasha Fierce.
Yeah.
I don't know what he calls his persona, but it's
Well, I
there.
think that's Weird Al. I think
He
he's
turns out
Al,
as
and then
Weird
when
Al.
he turns into Weird Al, yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah,
He's really, really amazing.
Yeah. I told him one of the first times I talked to him on the phone last year, I said, he's like, I'm really excited about this. And, I was like, I mean, everyone is freaking out that you're doing this, dude. We're just so, excited. And so, and he does Big Slick often, doesn't always play at Big Slick. He does it quite a bit, but he doesn't always sing. And so, our whole thing is it's a concert. And so it's he's coming to play, to do the thing he's known for with us, And I told him, I said, hey, and Al came to us via our brother, Will Forte. And I said to Al, okay, so, like most people that know Will Forte think he's probably the nicest guy And he said, oh, yeah, definitely. I said, well, just so you know, Will says that you are the nicest guy he knows. And he's like, oh. And so, which is true.
No, you are. No, you are.
Yeah, he's just the sweetest dude. I mean, what a
Yeah.
crazy honor to be a kid watching the Like a Surgeon video on MTV, you know, and then getting to play with him a couple years in a row and hopefully again, next year as well. So, yeah, it's a surreal thing. I mean, Thundergong's a dream come true for me, for us in a lot of ways,
Yeah.
And so it's just it's just great.
So let's talk about Sudeikis.
Yep.
Well, first of all, do you guys get involved with Big Slick?
Nope.
As a band
no,
or
we're
okay.
we attend
We
when
attend.
we can.
We love
We
so
love
many
it.
of the family members and everyone that puts it on, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
we do not help plan it.
No,
I think
no,
some
no.
people get confused
Yes.
with Sudeikis being two
All
different
the
events,
time.
2 different times a year. But
Yeah.
Thundergong is every November.
Yep.
That's right.
And Sudeikis is
Big Slick
there.
and Big Slick is in the summer.
Right.
The benefits Children's Mercy, very important, very huge, very amazing, but
Yeah.
completely different thing.
Completely different things.
Yeah, we love it. We go when we can. It's amazing.
So
And,
what's the
yeah.
backstory with you and Jason? Did you guys meet doing improv?
We did.
Was that in
1995. Nope. It was before he did move to Chicago, but it was a few years before that. So
Okay.
yeah, we both auditioned, got hired, and came into Comedy Sports, as it was called at the time,
Here
in Kansas City.
KC. Okay.
Yeah, Comedy Sports is still a national
Yeah.
improv company chain, and is now called Comedy City here. It's actually not currently in business here. Hopefully, it will
Okay.
come back to life. Yes, so we met in 1995. We got hired at the same time, and
Okay.
then we were in the same workshop, training class together, and so got to know each other that way, and just were
hit
fast
it off.
friends. And yep, I was 18, he was 19. We've been like brothers ever since.
So that was kind of a no-brainer for him to get involved with you with Thundergong. He's been there
Yeah.
from the start, right?
Yeah. I mean, it started with him.
I mean, what an amazing friend,
he's a good
Yes.
friend.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There from the start.
Yeah, I mean, he was not the one that organized the event for me in 2006. That was our friend Corey Rittmaster and his wife Monique Madrid, who are from here.
Okay.
Corey was a couple years older than Jason and I, and he is actually the guy that led Jason and I's workshop class. So he trained us.
Okay.
To, learning all the improv games and all that kind of thing, and is one of our best friends to this day. But Corey and Monique put that event together in 2006, and so and then Jason did it. Jason's wife at the time, Kay Cannon, who's been on Steps of Faith's board basically since the beginning. Our friend Ed Goodman, who does Thundergong from time to time with us, who's amazing. So when I went to Jason, I mean, I was trying to get him to come to Nashville to do an event, you know, and I was like, maybe it can be something like the thing you did for me in '06, and it just never came together.
Yeah.
And then once we got back here in KC, I mean, I even had in Nashville, again, to talk more crap. No, but I even had
Keeps coming back.
just the way it works. It was a thing where it was like, even when, like, I had reached out to people that I played with a lot in Nashville that were like, you know, very respected musicians in the city, to just get them to kind of be tent pole. Will you do this event where you guys would play in Nashville? It wasn't Thundergong. It just was like a concert or something. I thought, we'll just do a concert and have Jason host it. And they're like, well, who else is doing it? I was like, well, it would start with you since you're big in the city and like a close friend and I play in your band. And it was like, oh my gosh. So then I was like, okay. Then I got a venue. Then the date had to move. We were going to do, Kay did this event for us at Comedy City in 2015. That was the first, you know, public fundraiser that Steps of Faith had done in Kansas City. And that was going to be in Nashville. I had talked to her that day. We had a date. We had a place. We had it all set. And then literally the same day, the venue was like, hey, we got to give it to, you know, Martina McBride, man. She's doing a record release. Some real Nashville thing.
Yeah.
I got one-upped. And so it was shout out to Martina McBride, Kansas girl. That's it was not literally her. It was somebody, but it was somebody like that. It had nothing to do with her. But my point is, it was a thing right then where I called Kay back and I was like, what if you do same event? Actually, not same event, but same date, but it's in Kansas City. She was like, I'm flying from LA either way. So I was like, okay, great. So, yeah.
But an event here in Kansas City, like where we had done like it on a much smaller scale, I think Jason could see the vision for that and also had a heart for like, what could that do for other people?
Yeah.
And seeing how it's helped his friend. And so it started out as like a very drum-centered event. There was different names around, like it was going to be called Gongs of Thunder at one point.
Okay.
And so there was a lot of ideas, and Jason also loves playing the drums. And so then it kind of evolved to Thundergong. And so they were cooking on the idea for a while, but then it just came together when we moved here. And I will say in Nashville, it was a really great place to like learn from other nonprofits, because there are a lot of nonprofits in Nashville that are really successful. So it's pretty cool. Like Billy got to learn, be mentored by a lot of people there. But then it's harder to get, like he's explaining, like harder to get attention there, even though it's a smaller city. There's just a lot going on. A lot of people trying to be cool. And there's a lot of cool people doing cool things. And it just, the further we got down the road, it became even clearer, like the community to help Steps of Faith is here in Kansas City. And so when we brought Steps of Faith here and then had the first Thundergong event, it just felt like, we just like the community just embraced it, and it felt so good, like to have that here. And then Jason being from Overland Park, you know, he loves to be here and give back and all of that.
So for Steps of Faith, it's not just for people here locally who need a limb. Is that accurate?
Nationwide.
So can you kind of talk to that? Like, how does somebody go about applying, or what does that look like?
Yeah. I mean, these days, you know, next year will be April of 2026 will be, so this year will be,
right.
When does this air? 13 years. So you Google prosthetic charity, or if you use Ask Jeeves, whatever your search engine,
Ask Jeeves,
whatever your search engine might be, we're going to come up.
Are you the only one? Or
no, things come and go. No, but we're the only ones that do it the way we do it, and that help people nationally and do both arms and legs and things like that. So that is for sure. Yes. But that people just find us online, or you know, these days we work with so many prosthetic clinics in so many different states. You know, not all of the states, but most of them at this point. And there's just word of mouth.
We'll help you get there.
Yeah, but we have a very, you know, stepsfaithfoundation.org. We have a very easy application, that kind of thing. And we help people all over the country. And we've helped, you know, over 2,000 people in our time. I mean, the first year was like 8 in Nashville. The second year was probably 9 or 10 in Nashville. You know, I think the third year was 25. It was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know, and in 2024, we helped almost 460, you know.
So what's the hope, the goal, the vision? Just keep going? Or how do you plan that out of what you guys aspire to continue doing with this?
You want to answer that question?
I mean, I would say the hope was like Billy is part of this advocacy of like steps of faith wouldn't need to exist because, you know, prosthetics wouldn't be seen as a luxury. But in the meantime, because the demand is growing, 500 people a day lose a limb in the U.S. You know, we need more money in the tank so that we can buy more prosthetics for people that need them, you know. And so it's grown where Steps of Faith went from just Billy and then me doing the MailChimp, you know, on the side to having now 4 employees, 5 employees,
2 part-time, yeah.
And able to like meet the demand. So, you know, I don't think we know what the future holds. I mean, I don't think we ever thought Steps would be able to help 2,000 people.
Yep.
But we just knew like this was something that Billy was passionate about, and we saw the need. And like the more you keep going, the need grows.
Yeah. So what impact has it had on you now that you've been doing this for so long and you had that moment of clarity of like, this is what I want to do? Like, how do you describe how that's impacted you personally?
Oh, I mean, it's given my life really great purpose and I was always, that purpose was never an issue for me, you know. You know, I knew what I wanted to do from a really young age, and I was really passionate about music and my friends and the arts and, you know, trying to make people laugh, all those things. So I always, but it, you know, when I was sick with cancer, before I lost my leg, I was introduced to a guy, we had all the same doctors, named Brendan Allen. And I was being told about Brendan. He had the very similar cancer to me and all, blah, 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 blah. And then I learned he lost his leg. And then I was so afraid of that at the time when I was going through chemo. I was not thinking or fearful of death, but I was fearful of living having lost a leg. I mean, there's a cliche turn of phrase, you know, life or limb, which is to say, second to death, the biggest, most unimaginable fear would be losing a limb.
Sure.
And so, and I was in that camp. So I didn't want to have anything to do. I was very excited to hear about Brendan until I learned that he lost his leg, and I did not want to meet this person at all. And I met him in the cancer center, and I was like, well, he's fine. That dude seems cool. You know, he's got a pretty wife and seems to have you know, okay, all right, well, whatever. And so, but didn't want to have anything to do with him. And then the day that I got the news I was losing my leg, he was one of the first calls I made.
Yeah.
And so we've been close ever since. He's been on our board off and on. My point is, there is an amputee community, just like there's a community for about anything you could think of.
Yeah.
And community is so important. I know you know this. That's why you created this podcast. That's why you do what you do. You're not on there to, you know, show off your new, you know, lingerie set. You want to show off.
That's an idea.
You want to make some money on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like you've said yourself, you just want to talk about things that make the city great, and you're not even from here. Right. You know what I mean? It's like, that's amazing. Yeah. So my point is, I never felt like I got to be around more amputees because I had Brendan.
Yeah.
You know? And so I just wanted to be like normal, but be able to talk to somebody that could help me and understand these kinds of things. Absolutely. And so many important relationships in my life have come about that exact way. Cactus Mosier is also a board member of Steps of Faith, drummer, hero to me. He's kind of like a, you know, peer, brother, uncle to me, married to Winona Judd. We met for that same reason. And so all this to say, there is very much an amputee community that I feel I have a place in.
Yeah.
And I didn't before. It wasn't that I didn't want to, it just was not on my radar, you know? And then more I do this, the more, you know, I've kind of like Steps of Faith, we built our own community and this growing list of people that we've helped. I don't remain in touch with all the people we've helped. Sure. You know, some of those people have died, you know what I mean? Some of those people I never even met. But knowing that we are helping this community that grows No one wants that community to grow,
Right.
to be added to,
Right.
but it does every day. It's amazing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And to know that, and we have a lot of fun. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like, this is a winning team. Allie said early on, it's like, you don't need to talk about how bad you need money. Just talk about the things you're doing that are good.
Yeah.
And eventually that worked out, and it's like, no, this is working.
Well, and back to fun, I think I've sent you at least one reel of like very clever Halloween costumes that people do.
Oh, yeah.
With prosthetic limbs,
Yeah.
which I think is fantastic,
I know. I need to get more
People
on
are
that
so
tip.
brilliant.
I need to get more on that tip. But yeah, no, I mean, it I don't know. It's changed my life a lot, and I feel very proud of what we do and how we do it and the community we've cultivated. And
yeah. Well, and to that point, like the reason that I wanted to start the podcast is I have learned through many avenues of life, people just want to be seen and heard.
yeah.
That's
Amen.
it. So back to your point of the community.
Yeah.
Like you go through something that's probably traumatizing.
Yes.
And you want to feel like you're still seen and heard in a way that, is no crazy different than, what you were like before.
Exactly.
You lost a limb.
Yes.
So,
I'm the same. I just have a different perspective. You know what I
and
mean?
you lost a limb, and you're one of the most stylish men in Kansas City.
Oh, I don't know about that.
You've got that going on.
One of those things
Yep.
is true.
He
Yeah.
is, yes.
One of those things is
Yeah.
true.
But question for you,
Yes.
so you came in, you met him. Did you have the prosthetic when you guys met?
No.
So, like, what was your experience like coming into this new relationship, and how is it like? Obviously, you're all in. Like, you've learned so much about this world, but like, what's your experience been like?
When we first met, well, it's really wild to look back because I think that I wasn't really, I was really naive about like, maybe like how close he was to death and how sick he was and going through like a really hard time. I just knew I had met this like really charming, great person.
Yeah.
But when we look back at photos, it's like, it's really crazy. I introduced you to my parents when you were like bald and could barely walk, but I just, it wasn't really an issue. Like now I think I would think much more about it, but maybe just like the benefit of being younger and naive. But yeah, I think that for me, being married to someone or just having anyone that has close proximity to someone that has a disability or a limb difference, then you just see it more in the world than you did before.
Yeah, right.
And so it definitely has, it just makes you feel more empathetic towards people. You realize like that representation matters.
Absolutely. And I was going to say your kids too probably have learned such great lessons about empathy.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Or, this past year we met April Lockhart, who is a content creator, and she has a limb difference. She has a little arm. And, my daughter, who's 10, we were watching some of her videos, and she just hosted an event with a lot of little girls who also have a limb difference. And Goldie immediately could see, like, what that would mean to someone her age, having someone to look up to.
Yeah.
And so I think Billy is that for some people that may, follow him or see what he's doing. Also just being able to encourage people, just to say, I'm on the other side and you're going to be okay. Like that means so much more than, even if somebody doesn't need our help financially, just having someone to talk to.
Yeah.
And so I've just been like so proud of him. It like makes me cry, because I was always like, if music doesn't work out financially, which is a hard thing to do, to make a living with music, I'm like, this, like, he just has a special set of skills. And as you can tell, he's like a music encyclopedia. And it's just been so cool to see how God has used all of his little personality traits and all of the skills that he's acquired over years of being a musician to put together a team of people to do not just Thundergong, but the work that Steps of Faith does year round.
Yeah.
And so I think that's inspirational to people too, of like, all of that stuff won't be wasted, even if you have something tragic happen to you.
Yeah.
So it might not be running a nonprofit, but it can be used for good in other ways.
Yeah. So to that point, you're also a speaker, keynote speaker. Do a little plug on that.
Yeah. Well, it's very nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are you guys are the cutest couple, honestly. Like, you really are. You're both so pretty.
Sweet.
You're very pretty, Billy.
That's very sweet.
Obviously very pretty.
Take it.
But seriously, you guys are so sweet together. It's really fun to watch.
Sweet.
That's very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So I speak about beauty. I am drinking a thing that says beauty water.
Shout out Steps
Motivational
of
speaks
Style.
on beauty.
I do
Beauty water.
about my skincare routine.
Yeah.
Which I did get very
Steps out.
into.
Steps.
of
Shout out
Style.
to Billy's Grocery.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
going to
that's
say
right.
that. I think
Yeah.
I recognize that.
Yeah, throughout the years, if you've been listening along, I've been through some adventures, and so people we like. Do you want just even running a nonprofit for long enough? People just want to talk to you about it or whatever, and so I get asked to speak here and there. And the last,
Because what's the stat of how long nonprofits usually last?
18 months. Most nonprofit,
Really?
most businesses, in particular nonprofits, don't last past the first 18 months.
Just because the time and lack of
Because it's
funds.
hard.
It's just very hard.
hard.
And so 13 years is like a huge accomplishment, and have it be growing and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then people want to know, how'd you do it? So
Yeah. Or just, it's a unique and extraordinary story. And I say that because most of it I didn't write. That's how God made my life happen. Musician turned, guy that runs a nonprofit for a number of years, whatever. So I get asked to talk and all this to say, I've been actually, instead of just going, oh, yes or no, I've been pursuing it, more open to doing it. And not only that, actually like pursuing doing more of it the last couple of years. And, it's coming along and maybe I'm talking in Camden, Missouri to a group of correctional facility trainers.
Okay.
Or maybe I'm talking with my friends at the Global Business Travel Association in Kohler, Wisconsin. I'm available for all these things, and that's the whole thing. So no, I again, it goes back to the every drummer wanting to be a front man. You keynote speaker. It's all you, baby.
Yeah.
So I'm just up there spinning yarns and telling tales and but talking about what I've learned and back to what steps of faith means. I mean, I also realize that I have use the things I'm good at to build it, but also those things have gotten stronger.
Yeah.
And I've learned a ton.
No kidding.
It's like the people you talk about, I was just beating my head against a wall. And it's like, well, in certain martial arts disciplines, you can break bricks with your head. Right?
Yeah.
So if you beat your head against a wall long enough in the right way, you can bust through that wall.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we do over and over and over.
Not
and
part of your keynote, but
not part of my keynote
could add
yet.
Yeah.
But
Operative term.
we'll add that in.
Yet.
So yeah, no, I'm enjoying doing more of that and looking to do more and more. I love it.
Good.
I love it. Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Okay. So lastly, when we're not at Thundergong in November, how throughout the year can we all support Steps of Faith?
You can go to stepsoffaithfoundation.org. We love having monthly donors. Billy tells a story. There is someone in Indonesia that gives $1
$1.12
a month, $1.12. Like, that's so
Fascinating.
meaningful and amazing. But yeah, that's a really amazing way to have sustainability as people that want to sign up to donate monthly. We have an event in the spring called Game Night. We had the first one last spring. Will
That's right.
Forte was the host.
Yep.
It's kind of like coming to a taping of a game show. And,
Yeah. You'll do it again.
Yeah.
We're doing that again.
April.
Will will be back. You might get a selfie with Will. You might get to come on stage. We had some amazing local talent from the news and radio personalities.
Sports world.
Sports, celebs. So that will be coming back. So watch out for that.
By the way, I
Yeah.
think I heard Amy Poehler on her podcast talk about how it was her or somebody who was her guest talking about how Will Forte will just fly 24 hours to go do these events.
Yeah,
Not just yours,
Tina
anywhere
Fey-
across the world.
Tina
He seems
Fey
to
was
be
talking about
so that's who it
Yeah.
was. So I will be there for you.
Yeah.
He is amazing.
He's unbelievably dedicated. Will is on Steps of Faith's advisory board for that
Yes.
reason. Yeah,
she made a joke on late night TV about how because they were working on that show, The Four Seasons.
Such a good show, by the way.
How he was like, I have to go learn the choreography to Hot to Go. And that was for
not every day that comes out of his mouth.
For Thundergong, which we were all cheering when we watched that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So he'll be doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's not your stuff, that's not your thing. Just coming to events or different things is not your thing.
But ultimately raising funds to help.
Yeah. The cliches are true. Any dollar, any time.
Yeah.
Any country.
Yeah.
Any
Not
country.
that someone from another country is listening to this, but hey, you never know.
You never know. Dream big.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. We're going to do some rapid fire. So you guys both have to answer, okay?
Okay.
All right. First up, what is currently on your Kansas City bucket list?
Well, I think we're going to go to Quixotic has like a winter family show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bringing the kids.
We're excited to do that this month.
Perfect. Great answer.
Yeah. We love Quixotic. We're like, again, something that makes Kansas City amazing is Quixotic.
And they're from here. They literally, I've talked to Anthony, the guy behind it, and I'm just like, this is wildly impressive that they're all from here.
They have a show that just lives in Miami.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to Miami to do a speech.
That's awesome.
And I'm going to try. I think the trip's so short, but I'm going to try.
No offense to the correctional facility, but Miami sounds pretty enticing. So.
Shout out to Missouri Department of Corrections, which I'm happy I didn't know anything about before I was hired to be a speaker there.
Yeah.
But yes, Quixotic.
Rapid fire, so we can't.
Okay, right.
Right. Okay, so what's on your bucket list?
Oh, gosh. I just, not rapid fire. I just feel like there's so much that I want to do here. Mm-hmm. Like, not just like make happen myself, but just like, I felt this way since we moved back here. There's like still so many restaurants that we have not been able to get back to.
And I do a lot.
Yeah, right. You're everywhere.
But I still haven't been to a lot.
And you know what I want to do? This is just off the top of my head because I've not thought about this before until you asked. I have never, and I think it's only open for special events now, been to anything, even been in the building at the American restaurant.
Oh, right. I haven't either.
So I'm going to put that on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to eat dinner there, even though they only serve dinner for special events.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
All right, next question. Who would you like to see or hear on the Kansas City Bucket List podcast?
Oh, I think you need Heidi Gardner, of course.
How want Heidi on.
So
how do I get Heidi on?
We will manifest that.
Thank you.
We don't know Heidi, but we love her.
I adore her.
I feel like that could happen.
Let's make it happen.
I feel like she'll be game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know how to reach her. But she did a little thing on 2021 virtual Thundergong. So
virtual. Nice.
We did a virtual Thundergong.
Yeah.
She did a thing. That would be good. I mean, I think he was just actually the person being interviewed by his wife on his own podcast. But the first thing that comes to mind is I'm not even going to say local, but a national treasure is Frank Bowl.
Okay, so I don't know him because I didn't grow up here, but of course I keep hearing his
legend.
Name.
He's
that's
incredible.
Why I listen to Heidi on his podcast.
He is incredible.
So I would like to connect with him.
You should absolutely do that, just because he I mean, I grew up with him on the news, and I think he is like, that dude is awesome.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Adds to the list.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You also can I do a two-parter?
Yes, please.
One of my closest pals, former boss many years ago, and who I would say is a true, I don't throw this word around, visionary, James Taylor, local restaurateur, creator of La Bodega.
I was like, the musician?
That would also be cool, but no.
Okay.
JT, James Taylor, guy behind La Bodega.
Awesome.
I worked for him at Reverse on the Plaza many years ago.
Oh.
Shout out to Reverse.
Yeah.
He has just been around. He has opened so many restaurants and done so many amazing things. And a lot of it, I think, is kind of behind the scenes.
Okay.
I think, restaurateurs don't always get not always at the forefront. He's never sticking his neck out in that way, but JT, amazing.
JT. Okay.
I can also set that up.
JT, not the musician.
Yeah.
Restaurateur.
Right.
Okay, perfect. What do you guys want to know more about regarding Kansas City lifestyle? Anything in particular that you'd like to learn more about?
Good question. We're really emotionally invested in the Plaza. Okay. And so we want to see the Plaza succeed. We want more stores there. We want it to be like, we just visited the Grove in LA, and I'm like, this is how the Plaza should be.
Yeah.
And so
And kind of no reason that it shouldn't be.
I just feel like all of our hearts and our, like, people are like, oh, the plaza's dead or whatever. And we're like, no, we want to revive the plaza. We want to root for the new owners.
Yeah.
We want to give our input.
Yeah.
So I think as a collective city, we need to all be like sending our love
I'm
to
on
the
board.
plaza.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that answers the question.
We've
but
said this a
yeah.
million times. I didn't grow up here, but for people who did, there's clearly a lot of emotions tied to that destination. So,
But I want to know, like, what's going on. Like,
Yeah.
there are a few people reporting on it, but I don't know.
It's a little that info. There's like both a lot of information all the time about the plaza and what's happening lately, and then also nothing at all. And
Yeah.
I
then
don't know
there's
what answers the question, but
then there's also like, well, these tax credits would take money away from this,
What
and I'm
other
just kind of like,
lifestyle?
oh, come on.
Hallie's like, and
you gotta keep it rolling.
Yeah. What other? What was the question?
anything else
again?
you want to learn more about when it comes to Kansas City lifestyle
Oh,
or Kansas City in general?
I mean, truly, like, just following your Instagram page is like, there's so many things where like, we got to go there.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
And so I just love that. I mean, it's like again, things change,
Yeah.
things come and go. And so I always just like knowing, okay, we got to go try that. We got to go
Yeah.
try that.
So good to know. On the flip side, do you have a favorite hidden gem?
Zarda Barbecue is not
Okay.
that hidden, but it's
No, but I would
it's-
say that's definitely not at the forefront for, at least from my perspective of like.
See, okay,
usually
good.
comes
Yeah,
out,
it's
so.
not. I mean, people are going to talk about Gates and Bryant's or maybe kind of new school Q39, Jack Stack things, which I love all of those
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good answer. Zarda is probably our favorite.
It's 100%.
Okay.
It's like a little time capsule, but when you go there inside, we live near there. And they also shout out, they have a special Thunderberry sauce that supports Steps of Faith. It's new.
Nice.
It's Chipotle raspberry. It's amazing. You
Okay.
can get it there or you can buy it Hy-Vee.
Yep.
So I do feel like it's underrated.
Okay.
Zarda.
Good to know.
I mean, they do well. They've been around a long time. You can get their stuff, some to-go things at Hy-Vee and grocery stores and things like that. But they've got a spot in Lenexa and a spot in Blue Springs.
Okay.
The special reserve burnt ends.
Yeah.
Go there for that.
Okay.
Or just a beef sandwich. I mean, it is my favorite barbecue in Kansas City, which means it's my favorite barbecue in the world.
Okay.
Which means it's the best barbecue in the world. I think Zarda should be at the top of every list when it comes
Okay.
to
I like
Kansas
that.
City barbecue.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then the last question is, where would you have your last meal on earth in Kansas City? And maybe you just answered it. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I remember having a conversation when we were dating about this.
Yeah.
I was like, that's it.
Really?
Yes.
Gosh, it's pressure.
or La Bodega, which is,
Okay.
also, I mean, I just mentioned that, but for real, we ate there this past week and it's the best.
Great.
It's the best. Those are my two favorite restaurants in Kansas City,
I love
like
that.
hands down.
Yeah.
That's good because they don't
Yeah.
always come up. So
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
anything else for you?
I feel like I'm missing an obvious answer of like what I really love. I mean, probably barbecue would be just kind of like symbolic.
Sure.
My last day.
Your last day on earth.
Eat all the cheesy corn and onion rings without.
There you go.
Yeah.
Without
Cheesy
worrying.
corn.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so last, where can people follow you? You mentioned the website earlier, but where can people follow, find, donate?
Yes, Steps of Faith Foundation.org, Steps of Faith on Instagram.
Yep. Steps Faith Foundation is where all that stuff is.
Yes, we are Summer Breeze KC on Instagram and Facebook. We also have a website.
SummerBreezeKC.com.
That's right.
Very good.
And all things Thundergong are on the Steps of Faith Instagram, or you can also go to thundergong.org. Sign up for updates if you want to know when tickets go on sale. Catches people by surprise, especially if you want to buy a seat. Those seats are very limited. The
Right.
rest is GA, so you want to get on that in the first hour. So you want to get on the mailing list so you know.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's a good little addition there. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. This
Thank
is
you
good
for
to have
having
you both
us.
here to talk
Yes.
about all the things. So I really
Yeah.
appreciate your time, and this is really fun. And I'm excited for people to just get more of kind of the behind the scenes of you guys, Steps of Faith, and on my platform. So
Thanks
So
for
glad
having
you
us.
asked us.
thank
Yeah.
you. All right.
Fun times.
Hey guys, I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining in on this episode today. Absolutely had a great time talking to Billy and Allie. Make sure that you do me a favor and follow along. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, tell me what you loved about this episode listening to them, and make sure that you're following along on Instagram and all the places with Kansas City Bucket List and Kansas City Bucket List podcast. Really appreciate your time, your support, and to really share the stories of the people that are making the city really incredible. Thank you so much for tuning in and finding inspiration in these incredible stories. If you love what you hear, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode, leave a rating, and share the show to help these Kansas City voices reach even more listeners.